setting up. I'm running late. I didn't publish this at all. We're gonna figure it out. I'm tired. Oh man. You guys, I got to get this really fun light that I'm so excited about. I've had this since I started doing this filming, and this thing is just a beast. It's an Amaran 200DS. So this little guy goes on here. This guy. that's okay. For anyone who happens to be watching, I hope you're doing well. I guess if you're not watching, I also hope you're doing well. All these cables, not at all organized. Everything's out of the bin that I need. Cool, cool, cool. Let's get mic'd up here. I'm gonna go off to the side a little bit because there's a lot of breathing noises last time. Okay. We need this guy. This thing is awesome. I'm so happy about this. It's a Manfrotto little camera arm mount thing, Bob, and it is exactly what I wanted. So then we go from this to there. This goes here. We'll see if the power on this decides to be crappy again. It's like a really old Shure setup that I inherited, and it really is a crappy power situation. But that's okay. I don't blame it. It's had a good life. Turn this bad boy on. Oh, but it's not plugged in. I should really work on the cabling for this because this is just terrible. And usually I do all this before I start, but I thought to myself, why not share in the delights with everyone else? Alright, so that should be powered now, so this should come on. Yes, good, good. Now we need Ethernet and camera. what happens if I quit OBS. Okay. This is off. All right, now that's on. But is it functioning? Survey says no, not really. Hello? Hello, hello? Good. Everything's broken. Test, test. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. Cool. Okay, I think that's working. I'm sure this is just absolutely riveting content here. All right. Do I have more USB-C? I don't. How did I do this before? Was this? Maybe this was. I have no idea. All right. Well, I don't want to mess with that, so we're just gonna go. All right. I don't know why nothing's working. Cool. Excellent. Well, this is going really well. Plug is too far away. I mean, I'm gonna roll with it. As we're here. And it's Friday. And I should have done a better job today, but you know, sometimes it's just tough. All right, we need scallions. We need olive oil. We need all of this business. All right, we got scallions. We got roasted bell peppers. We got some pomegranate molasses, maybe. Survey says hope so. That's regular molasses. Maisie is very sad that she is being left outside. In a moment. Pomegranate syrup, sure, that'll work. I'll let Maisie in, I suppose. Camera over. Gonna be great. All right. I need some bread. Got some bread. We need olive oil. I'm gonna use the really good olive oil. I'm gonna use the regular olive oil. Then we're gonna get some. I have the some nice Middle Eastern spicy peps. What else is in this? I don't know. I can't look. I guess I could look. I like the New York Times recipe for this. Oh yeah, we need toasted walnuts. Kind of forgot about that. We need some lemon. Have mercy. All right. I guess I'm just some walnuts over here. You guys aren't gonna be able to see it. That's okay. You guys don't have to see everything. I hope we have walnuts. That would be kind of sad if we don't. I thought I bought some. Shelled walnuts. Okay. All right. Does any of this stuff even work? All right, cool. So we got our walnuts. We're gonna kind of vibe this. I'm not gonna measure anything. Don't really feel like it. Plus, I never do when I make this, anyways. You're also supposed to use more like bread crumbs than like just bread, but I just use bread because if you're putting it in the food processor, bread becomes breadcrumbs pretty easily. This is on like medium low, it's like 300-ish. I'm gonna let those hang out. Hopefully, don't burn them. You can absolutely make this with freshly made roasted red peppers, but they've gotten really expensive, and you can buy cheap jarred fire roasted peppers like just about anywhere, which is what I have been doing for this. Hey, there's cheese in here. Cool. So, oh good, my camera disconnected again. Really, really doing great here. There, it's back. All right, so normally I don't like taking the food processor thing off, because sometimes it can be really annoying to put it back, especially if it's like slightly liquidy. But I also can't plug it in that way, so that's fine. How about 2 jars? I think I'll make 1 jar worth. I think the recipe only calls for like 1 bell pepper, but yellow, man. We're just gonna make a bunch. Let's call it 3. I think 3 bell peppers. All right. Get some scallions in there. Out of the way. The nice thing about recipes like this, where everything just goes in the food processor, is you don't actually have to put that much effort into the mise. Like, you can kind of just, you know, get it to the point where it goes in there nicely, and wow, could that disconnect more? I love having such a professional setup where everything's so reliable. These are starting to look a little bit sad, so we might pull off the outside layer here. Yeah, sure. That's fine. I'm so excited. This weekend I'm going to Nightshade Noodle Bar, which is a really amazing restaurant in Lynn. And they do, it's only tasting menus. So they do, I think it's like 7, 14, 7, 12, and 21, and 30 course tasting menus. I've done, I want to say the 14 and 20, 12 and 21. I don't know. It's great. Highly recommended. It's pretty pricey, but like fully worth it. They are making such good food there. You gotta check it out. Oh, and the drinks are phenomenal as well. They have a coconut margarita that is just so drinkable, so nice, not too sweet. They actually were super kind to me, and Ellie had like a Moana themed party. It wasn't even like a birthday party. It was just like a Moana party, and they sold me some of their mix for it, which was awesome. Cool. Scallions, red peppers, other stuff. What do we got here? This reaction thing needs to just go away forever. All right. Lemon, cumin, salt, pomegranate molasses. Yeah. Well, we should probably check on the breadcrumbs or the walnuts here. See how those are doing. These don't need to be like super toasted. You can also do them in the oven. One trick I always learned was if you were like roasting something in the oven, like nuts that could burn, you just put one on your cutting board so that you're constantly looking at it and thinking about it. So then we'll go A little pomegranate molasses in here. Again, just kind of eyeball it. This stuff I don't think is very sweet. Oh no, that's actually quite sweet. A little tart. It's nice though. No cumin. A little pepper flake. Not too much because Ellie's gonna eat this. So head off. Although she's gotten better about eating spicy food. It used to be that, well, early on, she loved spicy food. She didn't even care. Then she started to complain when things were spicy and wouldn't eat anything that was spicy at all. And now she's started to eat stuff that is on the spicier side, and she'll say that it's spicy and get some milk, but otherwise she usually does fine with it, which is great. I'm not gonna force her to like or eat spicy food, but I'm very happy if she does. Obviously, I love spicy food. Okay. This is probably more bread than it calls for, but I don't really care. That's how much I want to put in because that's how much I have. And then we'll do some salt. Probably good. How are our walnuts doing? They don't really seem to be being too toasty, so we'll just keep warming them up a little bit. If I feel like washing this after doing this, maybe I'll make some hummus too. Let's see if we have any chickpeas. Oh yeah, we have a big can of chickpeas. Do we have any tahini? That's the real question. Maybe. Oh, that looks like tahini back there. Yeah. Oh yeah, so we do have tahini. Maybe we'll make some hummus. Nice, doesn't it? Okay. We're gonna say these walnuts are done, even though they're not really much has changed here. They're not even like barely warmed, but whatever, they're fine. They're a little bit more than raw. All right, so all this goes in. Not to burn anything over here. Then I really need like an extension cord. Do I have one? No. Okay, well, I'll just do it this way. We'll move the camera. Just take this guy. Try not to make anybody ill. Open this drawer up so we can actually get it on there. Yep, that's a perfect shot. Nice and clean, nothing out of the ordinary here. So when you do this nonsense where you take the thing off with the blade on it, you gotta kind of finagle it back, otherwise it'll push the blade up and out, which is a huge pain. And I regret my decisions. I never do this for this exact reason. Come on. Please. Please seat on there. No, you're not gonna seat back on there at all? Literally anywhere? Are you serious? What is the problem here? There it is. Well, hopefully that doesn't go flying off. This is all contained. Oh, you can see it. Cool. Oh Lord. And then while that's running, just put all the give it a scrape. Hopefully I can do this without making a humongous mess. I'll get that out of there. I already did make a big mess because that kind of like jumped and it shot out the sides, which is what I was sort of trying to avoid, but alas, unsuccessful with that. Maisie, out! This looks a little bit thin. I'm not sure what it's about. Maybe it was the that sauce that was like in the jar. Might have to add some more bread. Thicken it up a little bit. You're basically just looking for like a fairly smooth paste here. Now I'm going to take a towel. That's good. Let's see how that is. Needs some more time, like processing. Also needs a lot more salt. You could also use some more date syrup. Might need some more lemon too, but I'm gonna wait on that for a minute. Things like very much in my way. I guess that's part of it. I have this like bubbling everywhere. So I want it all. Nothing like date syrup all over the place. All right. It's actually kind of nice doing one of these when there's literally nobody watching because it's much easier to be very relaxed. I think it does need. I don't know what that needs. Not quite where I want it. I think it needs more lemon. I kind of want it to be sweeter than the date syrup. The date syrup's really tart, so I'm nervous about adding too much more of that in addition to this lemon. And also, it's starting to get way up towards the top of this, which if it goes too high up, it'll start seeping underneath and then out the sides, which is a humongous pain in the butt to clean up. It's such an awkward camera shot. I think it needs more salt. It's amazing because there's a decent amount of salt in there, but veggies really soak it up. And there's a good bit of olive oil in there too, so that fat needs salt. Uh-oh. Maybe too much salt. Good. Great. We're on a roll here, guys. We're making good food. It's pretty salty. And I have a little bit of sugar. It's not like inedibly salty, but like it's definitely got that upfront salt kick. And hopefully this sugar, I guess I could have used like coconut sugar, but hopefully this sugar will give the sweetness that I was hoping to get from the pomegranate molasses. Okay, it's still a little bit salty, but it's starting to get pretty good. Not quite as happy with this as I normally am. It seems to be the trend of these episodes these days. It's like very, very acidic from all the molasses plus the lemon juice. The salt sort of, it's not too salty anymore. Maybe I'll add some more bell peppers. Or maybe not. So this kind of thickens up as you let it sit in the fridge because of all the bread that's in it. So maybe that's what I'll do. Let it sit overnight. Let the flavors kind of hang out, mellow a little bit, and then give it another taste. So that's what we're going to do. I do kind of feel like redeeming myself, so we're going to clean this up, and then we're going to make some hummus. And there's a million different ways to make hummus. One of the more like fun ways that I've seen was, I forget what cookbook it was, but they basically had to make this like garlic lemon juice almost, where you like pureed a bunch of garlic and then let it sit in lemon juice, and then just let all the nice garlic flavor get absorbed into the lemon juice, and then you basically discarded the pureed garlic and just use the garlicky lemon juice, and it was pretty good. I would say that it like that plus making hummus with dried garbanzo beans, like soaking them yourself and cooking them yourself, like that'll make a pretty big difference in the quality of your hummus. I still think the quality of hummus that's homemade is going to pretty much always going to be better than what you would get, at the store. And because of how easy it is, like kind of a no-brainer to make your own hummus, in my opinion. And you're about to see it's going to take hopefully less time than Muhammara did, but should come out pretty nicely. These, I didn't even like really wash them. I just kind of gave them a rinse because there's nothing that I'm worried about for cross-contamination. Same things with these parts. All right. chickpeas drained and rinsed. Got a pretty big can of these. Hopefully, okay, yes. I'm just gonna rinse these. I don't think you guys can see me. Maybe you can. Not much interesting going on over here. Literally just rinsing these chickpeas. Hopefully by moving the mic, I was able to get rid of some of that like weird kind of windy poppy audio that I was getting from the last video. That was driving me crazy. Hopefully that's gone. I really just want to dump this in here. Don't want to do the same mistake again. Alright, so for hummus, it's even fewer ingredients. And now my drawer is stuck. Good, good, good. Right here. The tahini is almost certainly going to separate on you, so it'll look kind of like that, a little weird. You can just scoop it out of there, or if you really want to get into it, you can give it a nice stir. All the good tahini bits, like the actual sesame paste, is like down at the bottom, and all the rest of it is like essentially sesame oil and like I guess the water content maybe comes up. But you do want that sesame paste down at the bottom, so take a little bit of time here. All right, so the amount of sesame you put in is a very personal preference. A lot of people will, or a lot of like traditional recipes call for what I consider to be pretty wild quantities of tahini, to the point where it's like, you know, sort of 1 part tahini to 2 parts chickpea, or sometimes even more. That's a lot of tahini for me. I'm going to do one more little scoop here. This tahini's a little bit on the older side, which is why it's so dark colored. Hopefully it's still good. It smells good. I'm glad I checked this after putting it in. So we're going to go pretty traditional here. We're going to go a little cumin. We're going to go lemon. That one. This one. I'm going to put water in there, hummus, to kind of lighten it up. I usually don't do that, but it's certainly an option. Almost never, I do not like to pour salt from a container into anything. It's just too easy to accidentally oversalt it. So when my salt thing gets down, you know, to like that, pretty much always just fill it up instead of trying to dump it. So this will be able to take a decent amount of salt. I don't want to oversalt it like I did with the Muhammara, so I'm going to go a little bit easy. I am 50-50 on putting something like a sweetener into my hummus. Like usually I'll add like a dollop of honey. Nothing too crazy, but just enough to kind of give it a nice little like, what's that? We'll do that here. That's tasty. All right, what else goes in hummus? I don't know. That might be it. Olive oil, which we'll add as we blend it. But that's pretty much it. Easy stuff. Well, you can't see anything, huh? Well, what did I pour from the other side? Oh yeah, that's better. looking a little thick, so I might add some water, even though I said I wasn't going to. Oh, garlic. Garlic would be good. Put some garlic. You don't want to go crazy with the raw garlic, because you can, for sure, put too much raw garlic in. But we'll go like, I don't know, 6 little cloves. You could do like a roasted garlic. You could, you know, boil the oyster. Figure it out. Add a little bit of water here. There we go. This taste. Can probably still be a little smoother, but still more salt, still more lemon for sure. It does need more time just to get a little smoother. Hey Maisie, could you not? Thanks. 2 stickers in that one. Come on. Hey, knock it off. And now we're definitely over the top here, so hopefully we don't cause a I imagine you could probably make this in the blender, but sometimes it gets a little thick for a blender. So food processor is usually what I do, and you do need to kind of run it for a while. This food processor is pretty old. I don't know if new ones would make it faster, but it definitely takes a few minutes of blending. Maisie, out. Get into it. Up here, a little bit. I think he's a little more cumin. We'll add some. Let's see how that's doing. Looks a little bit smoother. You can still see some visible chunks in there, but that's okay. I might add a little bit too much water because it's very light now. But as it sits in the fridge, it'll firm up a little bit. That tastes pretty good. I still think you could use a little bit more salt. Maybe not more lemon. Maybe a little bit more lemon. Might have over salted it again. Getting crazy over here with the salt. Well, again, it'll probably mellow in the fridge. Let the salt get absorbed into all the chickpea parts. Do I have a bowl for this? Gigantic bowl. That's perfect. Let's get this out of here. So to serve this, if you want it to be really fancy, you could put it, you know, in a bowl, pour some nice olive oil over the top of it, maybe a little za'atar or like some other, you know, Mediterranean spice blend, or even just like some smoked paprika would be nice. Or if you've got like, you know, if you like that spicy hummus where it's got the chili paste in the center, you can do that. And you can use whatever chili paste. It doesn't need to be like Mediterranean. Like if you have harissa, obviously that would be nice. I've gotten really addicted to this one brand of harissa. I'm like, I can't get enough of it. And it's comically expensive. These jars are like $11 a piece. But this stuff from Via Gerada, so good. And I'll use like half a jar for a single meal, which just seems really egregious, but you know, yum. That's tasty. And then same for the Muhammara. Just put it in a bowl, a little bit more olive oil on top. You could do pomegranate seeds, which would be nice. You could do little crispy bits of breadcrumb. Again, like za'atar, spice, seasoning. It would all be pretty good. And then I usually, for the Muhammara, I'll take like this bread, this Iggy's Francese, and I'll just toast it and then like slice it into kind of like fingers almost, and then use them to kind of just dip. That's really delicious. Obviously hummus you can do, or I mean both of these you can do pretty much anything. You can do raw vegetables. It's a little bit funny to dip like red peppers into a red pepper dip, but hey, I'm not going to stop you. Celery, carrots, all your favorites. So yeah, made some dips. Did a lot of setup. Didn't really work super well, but alas, that is life sometimes. Yeah, gonna try to be more consistent with these. Fridays are tough. I don't know why I started on Fridays, but we'll figure it out. I'm gonna try to figure out a time slot that works, and we're gonna do it every week. Do you guys have things that you want to see? Comments, suggestions? If for some reason you found it interesting to watch me set this stuff up, let me know. I can try to do like a more thorough explanation of what I've got going on here, what I wish was better, what's working really well. And it would also maybe encourage me to like be a little bit more organized with this, because as you can see, it's just chaos. Yeah. Beyond that, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you.